Welcome back to MTG Gorilla. I'm going to be going over a deck that I made on moxfield.com, and this video is actually going to be the first in a series of videos where I just share deck lists that I create that you might want to try out just in case you want to make a new deck but you don't have an idea. This one is on a $100 budget, and the finished deck list was $80.46. So I didn't want to make it like really expensive. I want to start off with some budget decks, even though this is a high budget, a somewhat high budget. It's still something that doesn't include like Scalding Tarn, because if I it would have made the deck a lot better to put like a Scalding Tarn in here, because this is a deck, but I didn't because I wanted to make the deck a little more budget. So the topic of the deck, or the way the deck aims to win, is to pull off the Ral Storm Conduit plus the double expansion combo. So how the combo works is that you get Ral Storm Conduit onto the battlefield, and then you really only want to look, and the only thing that matters is static ability. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Ral Storm Conduit does 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. And then we have the double expansion. So let's say you cast a Brainstorm, but then you play expansion targeting Brainstorm. That would mean that you copy the Brainstorm, right? But if you have a second expansion in hand, you can copy the expansion instead of the Brainstorm. And then with that copy, you just copy another copy, you see? And then now you're copying expansion infinite times because they keep on targeting each other. And then if you cast infinite instant and sorcery spells, you deal infinite damage to your opponent with Ral. So the deck aims to dig through your deck or tutor for these combo pieces, and then once you're in that position, it's pretty easy to win from there. The deck includes 4 copies of Ral Storm Conduit, mainly for it being like the biggest combo piece. Plus, this does have a sub-theme of instant sorcery cards. Ral Storm Conduit's going to end up doing a lot of damage, even if you don't get to pull the combo off, especially. And it helps you dig through your deck for the other expansions with its +2 ability. I have 4 Faithless Lootings to dig through the deck. I have 4 Ponders, again, to dig through the deck. If you look at the top 3 and you don't like what you see, none of them are going to help you get towards your combo. You can shuffle your deck and then draw. Solve the equation. Mystical Tutor is banned in Legacy, but so we're using Solve the Equation. It's less coveted. It's 3 mana, but it is budget, so it earned a spot in the deck. You're usually going to use it to tutor for expansion or explosions. 4 Brainstorms. You draw 3 cards, put 2 from your hand on the top of your library in any order. Also to dig through your deck. It's a fast deck. If you're going to look at the mana cost here, most of the spells have converted mana cost 1. There are 16 of them. And, it's a 60-card format, so that's a big portion of the deck, especially when you take away the 24 lands. That's 16 out of the 36 cards in your deck that are non-lands. 3 counter spells, because if the combo is taking a while, then you got to be able to protect yourself. And then blue's best way of doing that's counter spells. But we also have creature removal with rapid hybridization. We have a playset of those, 2 negates, and of course the 4 expansion and explosions. You're going to end up not to if you're going to play this deck, because if you cast the explosion, then you're not going to be able to cast expansion, and expansion is the real thing you need. But if if explosion is what's going to save you, then I guess you have to do it. 2 Teferi's Ageless Insight. That's only because a lot of the cards we use to dig through the deck, like Faithless Looting and Brainstorm, have the key term draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. Though you're going to end up decreasing your hand size with Faithless Looting because you draw 2 then discard 2, but you're really discarding 3 because you have to discard. Well, because you have to put Faithless Looting in your graveyard as well. So you're losing cards on playing this card, right? But it does have the term draw 2 cards as well as Brainstorm. Brainstorm actually like if you have 7 cards in hand and you cast a Brainstorm, at the end of it, you're still gonna have 7 because you put Brainstorm into your graveyard. You draw 3, then put 2 back. You draw 3 cards, then you lose 3 cards, basically. So usually these instances that have similar effects, they either lose you a card or you end up having the same amount of cards. But Teferi's Ageless Insight would allow you to draw 6 cards with Brainstorm and 4 cards with Faithless Looting. So you instead draw extra cards, you see. Then we have 1 copy of Thousand Year Storm. It's a budget deck. This thing's $10. We don't want to include too many of them. But this is just like a backup plan if you really have 6 lands out, because the deck doesn't run ramp since it's a really fast deck. If you already have 6 lands out with Thousand Year Storm, you're not in a good spot. You did not get your combo yet, so you need Thousand Year Storm to be able to dig through your deck faster, copy your Faithless Lootings, your Brainstorms, your Ponders, so that because you're going to end up casting multiple of these each turn. And then the mana base is pretty simple for Sheevan Reeves because I you know what, I really think these type of lands are really good. Some people may not think that, but especially since they're budget. 4 Temple of Epiphanies, I mean, it's not a great card, but I just put it in because it also lets you dig through your deck just a little. 1 card only, but that's fine. Since we don't have that many non-basics, only 12, I included 4 copies of Frostboil Snarl because you're going to end up having islands and mountains in your hands really often. So Frostboil Snarl, a lot of times, is going to enter the battlefield untapped. The deck needs 1 token, a Frog Lizard, and that pretty much wraps up the deck. Quick note, I am going to be doing more of these videos. I'm going to be building a snow deck soon, and I've decided not to go over the Strixhaven Commander decks. I have said in recent videos that I would be going over them, but by now they've been pretty old. A new set of Commander decks have been going out, which, if you're wondering, I will also not review because I do not really support the fact that Wizards mixed Dungeons and Dragons with Magic. Maybe I'll talk in that in a whole separate video. Not the topic for today. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.